Vajra, Prajnaparamita, shaking the zither, heaven, is like Tripitaka, Master Kumara, Shiyi temple, walking helpless division. The fourth scripture protects this empty bodhisattva in the Dharma, should have no place to live in, and walk without losing. The fragrance touches the Dharma, and gives to the empty bodhisattva, should be like this. If the bodhisattva does not live in the photo album, and loses its merits, you cannot think about the empty bodhi. The empty and lower void around the northwest can be considered. The world-honored empty bodhisattva, helpless, gives and gives. However, it should help explain that the Buddha said to empty bodhi, that the bodhi is not persistent in achieving the supreme and equal illumination, lies in the fact that there should be no persistence when not giving. After doing things that benefit all beings, there will be no persistence. The so-called inability to make up for losses lies in the internal virtue that you must achieve 6 roots pure and leave the color. The stomach and animal method and other inner agar wood are not lost, and after the bodhisattva does not give, he must forget who I am giving to, what I am giving with, and what I am giving. Why? Because if you don't give incense, the fragrant body that lives in your heart is compared with the boundless void. It is really just a mote of dust. Even if you can bring misfortune and blessing because of it, it is limited. If you make up for the loss, your heart will be able to echo the void. There are unlimited benefits like this to subsidize incense. What do you think of Buddha's favor continues to Bodhi? For example, can you think about the boundless void in the east with your heart, or actually measure how big it is? Shubodhi replied. The honored by the world said that it was impossible to ask Shubodhi to say that. In the void that has no margin to the north of the south stream and upper and lower, can you think about it with your heart, or actually measure how big it is? Shubodhi answered, and the world-honored said, You can't. The Buddha said that if the empty bodhisattva cannot live in incense and give the merits he gets, it will be as vast as the emptiness. It is hard to imagine that the unmeasurable Buddha told the continuous bodhi. If the building of desire wants to fly, it will see the Tathagata explain the Buddha's empty bodhi. What do you mean? Can you cling to this tangible color body to see the noumenon of the talisman? Kuputi replied, the world-honored said it was not possible, and it was impossible to see the Buddha's noumenon by directly injecting color. Why? Because Buddha, the physical and physical body you mentioned, will change with causes and conditions, and he has no autonomy. After hearing this, the Buddha told Shuputi, not only my physical body is like this, but all physical things in the world are like this. All will change and be destroyed with marriage. So it can be said that they are all illusions. So it would be fine if the world can break the stone, and the pearl appearance are all illusory truth. After realizing the Tathagata's Dharma appearance, the righteousness system is divided into the 6th Sutra document, Bodhi Bai Fu Yan. The world-honored Po has all sentient beings. The northern text says that, when the chapter was born, the letterbook Buddha told the empty Bodhi not to do it. 345. The Buddha's eternal good roots have been found in the 50 and 20 million Buddhas. All kinds of good roots. When, chapter, and even one thought, is born and believed in it. The wife of the empty Bodhi Tathagata sees that all people are born like this, with immeasurable merits. Why is it so, that all sentient beings are reborn? Those who are anxious to accept it, should not take the Dharma or illegal. So a Tathagata often says that if a bhikkhu knows my Dharma, he should give up the Dharma, let alone illegal explanation. After Shubodhi listened to it, he said to the Buddha, first respect what you mentioned about subsidizing the photo album teacher, and the so-called seeing the pearl flying towards, that is, seeing the Tathagata. In this formless vacuum temple, will all sentient beings rise their true faith? After listening to this, the Buddha told Shubodhi that you don't have to doubt that although the Buddhism I said is profound and wonderful, there will still be people who believe it deeply. Not only do some people believe it now, but even after my death, in 2000, there will still be good men and women who hold hand precepts and practice Futian extensively. When they hear any one or one sentence in this sutra, They not only believe it very much, but also think it is true. Because these sentient beings are proficient in good roots, and the truth of vacuum and formless relics, they will not cling to all dharmas, if they leave the appearance of others, and others. Because all dharmas are just tools to save the hearts of sentient beings and reach the other shore. Nature is the Buddha, and all dharmas are not Buddha nature, when we realize it. When we are Buddha nature, we must let go of all dharmas, and cling to the name and appearance of dharma control. If we cling to the monitoring of all dharmas, there will also be an attachment to the empty direction of all dharmas in our hearts, because if all sentient beings have any reference to any image in our hearts, it is deep in our hearts that I am attached to others, and all sentient beings, and receivers. Therefore, if we cling to the name and appearance of all dharmas, the same truth will arise deep in our hearts. If the mind is attached to the name and appearance of dharma emptiness, the deep heart also produces the attachment that I am like a human being, and the recipient of all sentient beings. So don't attach to all dharmas, and don't attach to dharma emptiness, to stray into sexual emptiness. For this reason, when I preach for you, I often use bamboo rafts as metaphors, so that people can make them cook for passers-by, to cross the river. When I reach the other side, bamboo cutting doesn't need to be used anymore.